All right, welcome back to Market Day Report. I'm Scott Schulte. Thanks a lot for tuning in if you're just tuning in. And if you've been with us all day, that's even better. Stick with us until the close. And then we've got the Cow Guy close, 1 Central, 2 Eastern. We can kind of get the absolute closes in the ag markets. We can go into a deeper dive about what was going on today. And we'll do that a little later. All right, let's see what's going on right now. All right, corn market. These markets are your money. Corn strong, right? March up 7 cents at 6.28 even. That's 3/4 of a penny off the highs. May's up 6 3/4 cents at 6.24 1/4. Not bad. Let's see what's going on in soybeans. Let's take a look at that market. Boy, turned around. All right, we gave back a little bit here, but we're still higher on the day. That's good going. 4 cents higher in March, which is at 14.07 even last. May is at 4 cents higher as well at 14.15. All right, how about the wheat? This still has a bid here from the geopolitical tensions. 16 1/4 cents higher in March in Chicago, 8.16 3/4 last. May, Chicago wheat is up 15 3/4 cents at 8.20 even. All right, moving right along, they say hard red wheat in Kansas City, double-digit gains there, good going. 14 3/4 cents higher in that March contract, 8.32 3/4 is last. May is 14 cents higher at 8.34 1/2. And then we move to the Minneapolis spring wheat. Minneapolis spring wheat higher, but more towards the deferreds than actually the fronts. March up 3 cents, 9.51 1/2 is last. May up 3 1/4 cents at 9.47 1/4. But you go out to Dees, it's up 9 cents at 9.07. So that's some decent prices back there. All right, let's talk about cotton and what that market's doing. It's rolled over here just a tad, 18 points lower at 120.20 is last. So that gives me the opportunity to bring in our next guest, Brian Hoops from Midwest Marketing. Brian, thanks for joining the show. What is top of your mind today? There's lots to talk about, but what are you focused on?
Yeah, good morning, Scott. There is tons of things to talk about, but the thing that really is catching my attention is the corn market. For weeks I've been on your program talking about corn being very close to inverting, and now we're finally seeing that be the case. And once a market goes inverted, it's usually very bullish, very strong signal of of demand that somebody wants this product. They're willing to pay more for it today than they would be in the future, and that's the case with the March corn. It's inverted over the May, which is inverted over the July. There is some real strong underlying demand fundamentals for the corn market, and that's pushing us into these contract high territories. So most of the contracts hitting new highs here this morning. December also hitting contract highs, and we're really haven't talked about bidding more for acres. 575 to 580 was kind of a first type of target I had for that new crop corn, but we may be looking closer to $6 if we get into much more of a bidding war this spring. But yeah, that contract where it's gone inverted, that's really got my attention here this morning, and I think a lot of attention's being paid to what's happening with Russia and the Ukraine and in the wheat markets. We export most of our Chicago, Kansas City type hard or winter wheats and retain the Minneapolis here for domestic usage. So that's why those markets are gaining against Minneapolis, and I think that spread continues to widen out as well.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. New crop corn at 570, that is fantastic going into planting. And then obviously the Ukraine and the Russia situation, that's not going away anytime soon. So we're going to have to deal with that for a while here. All right, stay right there. We're going to go and deal with some commercials. We're right back after these messages. All right, welcome back to Market Day Report. Thanks for staying with us. All right, we really appreciate it. And if you're just tuning in, we've got lots on board here. Again, Cow Guy close, 1 Central, 2 Eastern. We're going to get into some deeper dives and also close the ag markets for you. So make sure you see that. Okay, let's take a look at what's going on in these live cattle markets or our cattle markets. Live cattle here, that Fed market's off 7 cents, right? Not too bad. 136 1/4 is last. April live cattle down 25 cents at 139.82. All right, the feeders are going to take a little bit of heat because of what we've got going on in the corn. If we can bring that feeder. Let's see, well, feeders are having a hard time loading. There we go. Technology is good until it's not, is it? All right, here we go. That's March off $1.80. They're suffering a little bit here, I think, from this rally in the corn. April's off $1.57. March last is 159.45. April's last at 164.80. And let's just see how the technology does with the lean hogs. Here we go. The lean hog market, we should probably linger on this one a little bit because it's up across the board. We'll say Feb's up $1.12 at 87.45. The high is 87.72, so we're not too far from it right now. April up $1.70 at 97.02, and we're close to being making new highs there. The last high was at 97.15. You go out to even July, we got a $1.55 tacked on out there. 106.30 last in July. All right, let's bring back in Brian Hoops. Brian, thanks for staying with us. Anything stick out at you there in those livestock prices?
One thing I'm really watching closely in the cattle this week is an increase in our slaughter rates. If we can bump the slaughter up, that should be bullish for our cash markets. So slaughter pace, 115,000 yesterday, 2,000 more than a week ago, and close to last year's 116,000 number. So that's I think going to be key. If we can ramp up our kills a little bit, yes, it'll hurt our cutouts, but it will be bullish for our cash markets, and that is what we're looking for to help rebound this cattle market. It was a big drop yesterday. There is some packer interest coming back into these markets in here, but they're bidding, trying to get things on the cheap, and so far they have been unsuccessful.
And sometimes we see the live cattle or the feeders actually trade a little bit with the equity markets, and that after the cattle on feed report we got on Monday or Friday, and then seeing what the market did yesterday, and then on top of that you see what the equity market were doing. It was just kind of it was kind of a negative day, and giving those guys it was a hard time to try to get up off the mat if you're a feeder cattle guy right now. So we'll have to work through that, but I really appreciate your content. That's fantastic stuff. That's Brian Hoops. Thanks for joining the show. He's with Midwest Marketing. Really appreciate it. We're going to bring it back here to Nashville so I can throw it over to Janet.